Aries Ascendant. In case of Aries Ascendant, Saturn is moving in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Its retrograde motion is happening in your 12th house. What is the 12th house? The house represents Mahavishnu's feet. The house represents the imagination. It represents philosophy. It represents the foreign lands, the area where the consciousness moves away to the zone of subconsciousness, and if you are aware, it becomes super consciousness. A retrograde Saturn in the 12th house is very much a kind of a planet which wants you to get rid of few things. See, 12th house is the house of moksha or liberation. 12th house represents something that exits from the life. It walks out of your life. That is why it is the house of expenses or loss. So when you're talking about a retrograde planet in the 12th house, you're talking about recalling the memories. You're talking about your energy shift happening at a different dimension. You're talking about release of energy. You're talking about mind moving into a different alternate reality. Why? Because we are talking Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra here. This Nakshatra is known to create a different reality in your mind. It is known to give you alternative solutions. It's a Nakshatra where death of one thing and the creation of other thing happens. It's like the dance of Nataraj. It is the fire of which burns you can say all the Maya, and whatever is left is the eternal truth. A lot of people who are Aries Ascendant and Moon sign will find a retrograde Saturn in the 12th house pushing them towards medical awareness. It will make them realize that they may have to burn or finish off one task or one phase of their life, and they move to a different phase. I'll give an example. Say somebody who has worked for a very long time in a foreign country, and because of the geopolitical situation, they have to close everything down and restart a new life in their home country. This is the impact of retrograde Saturn. You try too hard to manifest and things only happen when they are supposed to happen. Retrograde planet has a higher Cheshta Bal, and in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, although Saturn will never move to Aquarius, it will keep on moving in the last pada of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. When Saturn is moving in this Nakshatra, it kind of triggers a wave of emotion. That is good to release the hidden energy, and it releases both. It's like Samudra Manthan. It not only brings out the toxicity from within so that you become a better person and it makes you emotionally more happier, but it also brings out the hidden talent. Sometime under the pressure, you perform better. This is the example. Now Saturn with Purva Bhadrapada energies will aspect your second house. So naturally you are going to re-evaluate your expenses. You are going to re-evaluate your losses, and you are going to plan your income accordingly. So with retro Saturn, you may have to define what is necessary and what is luxury. The same retro Saturn has an aspect on the 6th house, and through Purva Bhadrapada, it wants to become more aware about your health, about pharmaceutical importance of the medicine and alternative therapies. It is retro, so it will provide naturopathy, Ayurveda and other alternative healing methods that will support the general healing method and will make you more aware about your health, and you may recover if you are into some sort of sickness. This also clears the prarabdha karma, and it will also force you to fulfill a certain duty in your life that you have been avoiding for long. So few people might also feel their life being choked and they are being pushed to do certain tasks which they were not willing to do. And with the 10th aspect on the 9th house, Saturn wants to establish dharma. So anything that is tamasic and adharma will move away from your life and will seem like a sacrifice. So it will push you towards giving sacrifices and leaving few things behind and doing things for others. And if you don't do that, it will force you. For example, if you eat non-vegetarian food, or if you are too savvy about delicious food, what happens is that this Saturn will push you to eat sattvic food by giving you bad health. This is the nature of this Shani Dev, that it will remind you by creating hurdles and problems in your life, because that is the natural behavior of Shani. And with Saturn's aspect on the 9th house, that too in the sign of Sagittarius, Shani Dev is going to make you remind your true dharma. That is why I'm saying, for Aries, it's the time of finding your true dharma, true potential, and true karmic importance of your life. One remedy I will give you is praying to Shani Dev by chanting the mantra Nilanjanam Samabhasam Raviputram Yamagrajam Chaya Martanda Sambhutam Tam Namami Shaneshwaram. If you constantly repeat this mantra 108 times every day, this will be a very good transit for you. Not only this is a transit of release, because for Aries moon sign it is also Sadesati, but this is also a very unique transit because it breaks your philosophy and it makes you move to a different path. Say you've always believed that one thing can happen in a certain way, Saturn breaks it and gives you a different reality. You just need to accept it and logically define it in your own mind. It will take time for you to adjust, but I'm sure you will work well with this Saturn transit. Taurus is going to experience a very dominating Saturn retrograde in Purva Bhadrapada in the 11th house, which means that Taurus natives are going to experience a tremendous push of Shani Dev in the house of gains, Labhasthan. Retrograde Saturn will make you focus, have a laser sharp focus on your gains. Life will become a profit and loss statement. See, retrograde Saturn is basically your 9th and 10th lord, Dharma, Karma, Adhipati. And when it goes in the Labhasthan, it really wants to give you the maximum that it can give, the maximum that it can provide. When that happens, Shani Dev literally makes you work hard, and it can isolate you from your friends because you're working too hard, you're working round the clock. The workload suddenly increases, and this can take you away from the friend circle. And for some people, on the contrary, when you are stuck and you have nobody, a long lost friend will come and help you. It will rescue you. A good Samaritan will come and help you live a good life. So retro Saturn in the 11th house is very different kind of Saturnian energy that is different from the usual pattern of Shani. The usual pattern of Shani is delay. The usual pattern of Shani is decay. The usual pattern of Saturn is to slow down the things. Retro Saturn wants to speed it up. Retro Saturn wants you to work so hard that you leave no stone unturned. That means suddenly your passion, your hustle, your ability to perform will become very, very high. Now this Saturn definitely have a third aspect on the ascendant, bring Purva Bhadrapada energies, and that means you need to be in a mode of sacrifice. This Shani Dev will create a lot of ecosystem. It will create an ecosystem where you will have to burn your calories, burn your mind, burn your spirit, and sacrifice a lot of things. That is why I mentioned you may lose people. But what it will give you is the gain of your lifetime. It will take away the unnecessary and it will keep the necessary, and then whichever things are necessary, whoever is necessary will help you grow. So it's like cutting the crap and focusing straight to the point, however rude it may sound. With Saturn's 7th aspect falling in the 5th house, it focuses your mind, your attention to productivity, to children. It wants you to innovate and reproduce something positive, something big that you have never done before. Saturn's 10th aspect falls on the 8th house. Therefore, this creates transformation. From Pisces, Saturn aspecting Virgo and Sagittarius is like it wants to change the strategy with which you are working. Naturally, the simple or usual manifestation will be that your income source will change. That means job change can happen. Stream of income can change. A businessman is earning from, say, product A, and suddenly the business becomes booming in product B. which was never seen before. If you are a scientist, if you are into medical profession, then definitely a retrograde Saturn will help you a lot. But when a planet like Shani Dev aspects life and death, the first and the 8th house, and as well as it focuses on the solar plexus, which is the 5th house, it can squeeze your life and block you from everywhere. But if you give enough justice to your fight, that means you give reasons that are justified, the same Shani Dev will take you away from any choking situation of life. So if you are stuck, if you are a Taurus ascendant and moon sign, and if you really don't know what to do, any puja or any jap, any havan, any remedy done for Shani Dev will result into a lot of positive feeling and emotions in life. This is the time to do something big, and when I say big, I mean very, very big. Something that is beyond your current capacity. It may mean that you are taking a little bit of calculated risk, but well, that is what the Saturn retrograde in Purva Bhadrapada means. Being in a Jupiterian Nakshatra, and because Jupiter is hovering between Gemini and Cancer zodiac sign, which is, by the way, your 2nd and 3rd house, Jupiter is going to make you more wiser. This wise approach to manage finances is also going to make you take some bold decisions in life, which may mean ending current partnerships, which may mean severing the terms with certain people, which may also mean closing down the non-productive business, non-productive arm of your business, and then slowly moving towards productivity. This is a Saturn that wants you to hustle, wants you to work, and wants you to become a king. Gemini is a dual-natured zodiac sign. Gemini will experience a Saturn transit in your 10th house, retro Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Very karmic transit. A transit that makes you focus on the right type of karma that you have to do. But this is very difficult for you also. Why? Because for Gemini, Saturn is 8th lord. So first thing for sure will be career transformation for people who are looking for career change, then definitely it is good. If you are not looking for career change, then the Gemini Saturn retrograde can be a little difficult. People who are in top leadership roles, especially if you are above 50, then you should be careful about your position. You should be careful about how you are dealing with people, because your job can be put at risk. Shani is your Bhagya Lord also. When 9th Lord goes in Purva Bhadrapada, situation can be such, because remember this is retro, so not usual, situation can be such that it breaks your belief. It makes you believe that you really need to do something different in your life. And it can happen at any age, that you are done with the job and now you want to do a business. You want to do something very different, radically different in life. Whatever happens, execute a task only after careful analysis of the situation, because retro Saturn may make you take some immature decisions. Now this retro Saturn in the 10th house is a very karmic Saturn. When the Dharma Lord and the Ashtama Lord goes in the 10th house, it can make you feel restless in your career. It can suddenly make you feel that you are done with the monotony of life and you want a new flavor. So for this you may start looking for a job, or maybe just the supervisor goes against you, or the event in the current company, current environment forces you to think about a change in life. With 10th Lord, 10th house retro Saturn and Jupiter on the ascendant, whatever happens is going to shape your personality. You might also see that some associations that you have made or some castles that you have built in your career may end, and you may move to a different profile, different vertical altogether. Saturn aspects the 12th house. Then Saturn aspects the 4th and the 7th house. So 75% of your Kendra and 68% approximately of your Trik Bhav is now controlled by Saturn. Being the 8th Lord aspecting the 12th house, it controls 8th and 12th house. And through 10th house, it aspects 4th and 7th. So this will demand a lot of hard work and sacrifice, something of a magnitude that you have not done before, in order to correct the problems connected with 8th and 12th. So it wants things to exit. It does not want to put you into a situation where you are not expanding, you are not maturing, you are not earning money. Jupiter wants to expand, and it will instruct Saturn to create hurdles. And once you try to solve an answer, or you want to win over that hurdle or problem, you will discover your new potential. And for elderly, this can be a thing related to your knees, your joints, your bones. You need to keep a good care of your health. And pressurizing will not help. And now this is for every age group. Don't pressurize yourself. Hard work does not always mean that you are under pressure. Hard work may mean that you are also enjoying that. Purva Bhadrapada just shows that whatever you do, you're doing it for a higher purpose. And you really are not attached to that. So the more detached you are with the process, the work, the better your life will be. For some people, this can create problems with the father, authority, and maybe the supervisor on which you are dependent may quit the job before pushing you for promotion. Just an example. A 10th house Shanidev makes you a Karma Yogi. So read the Karma Yoga chapter of Bhagavad Gita. It is a direct aspect on the 4th house, so all the Sukh is away. It's not about Sukh, it's about hard work. Just ensure that if you are married, your mother and your spouse, there will be tensions between them, and you will have to meddle in the matters, and it's a very homely thing, but you will have to ensure that both are respected and there is no complication there. People who want to work abroad may find a little bit of disappointment. Purva Bhadrapada may end your dream of some golden visa anywhere in the world. I'm not stating a country. So maybe you will be forced to work in the place, or you may be asked to return to your home country. So solve that paperwork and be very practical and have an alternative solution, especially related to career. It's a hard-working time. It's a time to create a difference. And it's not the time to crib, it's not the time to complain. It's the time to prove who you truly are. Cancer zodiac sign, Kark Rashi. If you are a Cancer ascendant or Cancer moon sign, then the position of Saturn is very unique. Saturn is retrograding in your 9th house. What is 9th house? 9th house is Dharma, your belief system. And Saturn with Purva Bhadrapada will break that belief system. It will break your trust. It wants you to unlearn and relearn. It wants you to focus more on the fundamentals of life. It wants you to give up all the inhibitions, and it wants you to only focus on what is essential. This is one of the trigger towards moksha that spiritual minded people will immediately connect to. See, we are talking about a retrograde Saturn, we are talking about Purva Bhadrapada energies. We are talking about your 7th and 8th Lord in the 9th house. With the 7th Lord in the 9th house, 8th Lord in the 9th house, we are talking about transformation through dharma, you realizing your own dharma, your own duty, and you are doing that, especially towards your marriage, especially towards your in-laws. For Kark Lagan and Kark Rashi, a 9th house Shanidev is also going to be very beneficial because of Jupiter motion in your 1st house. For a very brief period of time, Jupiter will move on the Kark Rashi, on your ascendant, and then start aspecting the 9th house and Shanidev. Now imagine the Purva Bhadrapada, the energies of Aja Ekpada, the energy of Upanishads and Puran and Vedas gets triggered in your life. It tremendously benefits you by giving you a new vision, It will provide solutions to problems that was never seen before, some kind of solution that you can never even imagine on a daily basis. The same Saturn from the 9th house will help you connect to guide, mentors, and people who you think are good for nothing may give suggestions that will take you from rags to riches. So value every ounce of suggestion that you get during this phase. With Saturn in the 9th house aspecting the 11th house, the main intention is not to earn profit or money, but the main intention is to actually prove and do it. The main intention is to bring confidence within yourself that I can do certain tasks. Accomplishment and achievement will be the theme of this transit. And that is why when Saturn retrograding aspects your 3rd house, it wants you to break the shackle, break the bond, but to break it, you will have to pay a certain cost. It's Purva Bhadrapada we are talking. We are talking about auspicious movement, but we are also talking about the transaction here. So you may have to give up bad habits, you may have to give up certain philosophies, you may have to give up certain mindset and shift your gear towards the path of positive dharma, the sanatana, the positive energies of life, the new way of living. So anyone who wants to shift to a different zone of life, this is a perfect time. Anyone who wants to start a new business, anyone who wants to start a new career, anyone who wants to start a new, say a company or a factory or a shop, this can be a very good time. Now with Saturn aspecting your 6th house, it also brings your attention towards your health. If you're suffering from spinal issues, if you're suffering from back pain, if you're suffering from any joint pain, you need to be careful because it wants you to get rid of the pressure of the job, pressure of the money. It wants you to relax a bit. This is a very different kind of Saturn where you, whatever thoughts you have learned the philosophy, you have understood the concepts of life. Now you get rid of unnecessary. With retro Saturn in the 9th house in Purva Bhadrapada, a lot of people will give up their foreign passports and foreign visas and will come back to their home country. If you're living outside your home nation, you may also face some trouble there. So if you want to return to your home country, anywhere you are, this can be a very good time. This can actually create an emotional connect to basically the previous life, the previous ashram. This is a time where your saintly emotions or the sattvic emotion would want you to do something for your guru, for your motherland, for your own country. What you do, how you do can be your personal choice. Understand that Jupiter coming on your ascendant is going to power this Saturn, and this Saturn is Shani Dev, this is Kala. So you would also want to do things much quicker. Things will also happen very quickly in your life, maybe at a pace which you cannot comprehend or understand. So my recommendation will be go with the flow. The more you are accommodating and the more you are adjusting in nature, you will find this Saturn transit to be very beneficial for you. People involved in export-import, scientific achievements, marine activity, people involved in ocean sciences, people involved in deep sea sciences, people involved in oil rigs, people involved in export and import, people involved in shipping business, and people involved in immigration will benefit greatly from this transit. Also, if you are in travel and hospitality, you will benefit greatly from this transit. But the decisions that you will have to take should be bold and something that you have never taken before. Leo. In case of Leo, which is the second fire zodiac sign, the Saturn's retrograde motion happens in your 8th house, and this Saturn goes in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. Do you realize that when Saturn's such kind of planetary motion happens, with the 8th house energy, it creates so much of transformation that sometimes you don't even know who you really are. Because 8th house is an agent of like death and rebirth. Saturn here rules your 7th and 6th house, so it's also a Viparit Rajyog. So for Leo ascendant and Leo moon sign natives, this is a time where if you want to bring the biggest change of your life, Saturn will help you. But if you just want to do things business as usual, I don't think that will be possible. It will create hurdles and it will create some changes. So whatever you do, wherever you are in your daily routine, in your career, in your homemaking, you need to create some transformation. You can transform your home, you can transform your office, you can transform your lifestyle, you can transform your body, you can do spiritual transformation. But you need to do something. Because it's a Vipareet Raj Yoga, it will support you. And with 7th Lord being in the 8th house, this also changes the equation of marriage. This also changes the equation of your association and bonding with other people. Which means some of your near and dear ones will go away from your life. Maybe some news coming from your near and dear ones transforms your own life. Here, my advice will be that you should learn from other people's mistakes. And don't commit the same mistake that you have been doing in the past. Now with Mars being in the sign of Libra, which is in your 3rd house basically, it gives you the strength and courage to act. So you cannot even say that you don't have the energy to act. So my advice will be that this is the time of execution. And whatever changes are needed to execute certain things, do it. A lot of people who are investors, a lot of people who run companies, a lot of you who are entrepreneurs will take one of the boldest decisions of your life and you will shift your life. It will be a huge shift that you have never seen before, especially financially. If you're looking for investors, you will get it. But whatever you do, you have to check the terms and conditions, because that is also something that will bind you for a very long time. So before you sign a contract, before you do a deal, before you commit something, ensure that you are able to fulfill that. We are talking about a retrograde Purva Bhadrapada Shani. Purva Bhadrapada Shani takes you to the auspicious zone, but only when you leave things behind. And with retrograde, it is kind of forcing you. A lot of people think retrograde is just returning back. No, it's not turning back. It is deviation towards the awkward, like an awkward motion of the planet. That is why it is called Vakri, not Vipareet Gati. This Saturn from the 8th house will aspect your 10th house. So the first biggest transformation will happen through your career. Why? Because 7th and 10th house are now interconnected. 7th Lord aspecting the 10th house from Purva Bhadrapada. Where is Jupiter, the owner of Purva Bhadrapada? In your 11th house. So actually you stand to gain by this transformation. So the more changes you bring in your business, in your company, in your shop, in your career, the better your life will be. And the people who are in job, who are in service industry will see that they will be forced to change their ways and their market and their attention. And they will be in a position to create a new startup, a new kind of era in your career. But for that, you will have to take really bold step and maybe kill the ongoing process to start a new process. It is not an easy task. It is a very difficult task, but it is very much doable considering Mars and Jupiter's position with respect to Shani. Saturn from the 8th house aspects your 2nd house. So naturally, the family equation will not be conducive. That means you are spending more time in your career than with your family. That is understandable because of the wave of energy shift that's happening, but you have to balance that. Finances can be a little crunchy. Liquidity crunch can actually trouble you, so prepare for that. And with Saturn aspecting the 5th house by the 10th aspect, it means that it is aspecting the Sagittarius zodiac sign, and speculative gains may not come so easily. That means objects or things that were not supposed to run very fast will show tremendous amount of raise in their stocks, such as prices of gold. Abnormal increase of gold prices can be seen while Saturn retrograde is in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. But certain things that were supposed to give you good return may fail. This is the abnormality we are talking about. So when you're talking about Shani Dev aspecting the 5th house, we are also trying to see how your equation with your children shifts and changes. So if you are fighting the custody of your child, you need to be very, very careful. One remedy that I will give you is transform your life through action, through yoga and pranayam. And if you want my help on this, then I have a plan called Antarbahya Havan. You can check that out on my website, a different website of my company, Hiranyahasta.com. Punneit Astrology is my personal email ID and where you can connect for consultation. But for the Antarbahya Havan, you can check the details in my website, www.hiranyahasta.com. Just you go and check what this is. Antarbahya Havan, I have uploaded a video explaining what it is. It will fit perfectly for the current timeline that Leo is actually going in. This transformation is evident. Nobody can escape this. But I think you will be able to absorb it very nicely. Just ensure that you are empowered. You are empowering your Jupiter and you are empowering your Surya, parallel to praying Saturn. Virgo. In case of Virgo, if you observe, Saturn is right in front of your ascendant in the 7th house. Saturn is right in front of your moon sign if you're a Virgo moon sign. And with Purva Bhadrapada as energy and with retrograde Purva Bhadrapada, it is going to take away the curse from your house. It is going to take away the curse from your ascendant and moon sign. The only thing is that with retrograde energies of Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra, the recommendation will be to focus more on the positive side of life and not on the negative side of life. Saturn being in the 7th house is naturally going to affect the circumstances, the surrounding, the marriage and business. And retrograde means it may end a karmic cycle related to marriage, especially for Virgo ascendant. Retrograde Saturn also means that if you have any toxic relationship or if you have any negative karma connected to married life, you will know how to solve this, you will know how to handle this. The power of Vakri Shani or Retro Saturn is so strong that it really wants to give you the best, but through challenging situation, through challenging circumstances. For Virgo, Saturn is Prarabdha Karma because it rules your 6th house, it rules your 5th house. And when such a planet goes in the 7th house, it wants you to remember your duty and responsibility. And if you don't, then people will make you remember that. People will remind you. And which means that you might face criticism, which means you might face a strong, I will say, revolt or rebellion from the masses. If you are a political leader, you might face challenges with the team that you work with if you have a huge company, especially which is labor intensive. Saturn being the 6th lord, when it comes in the 7th house, it wants you to fulfill your prarabdha related to marriage. 7th house is primarily Vivahasthan. It can also create or terminate a contract all of a sudden. And it can also help you revive a losing business. So don't lose hope. This is a Saturn that will bring justice. Saturn being in the 7th will aspect the 9th house. So travel is very much possible, especially business related travel, which can be non-productive, by the way. But even if things are a little non-productive, you should go ahead and travel because it gives you the opportunity to connect with people. With Saturn aspecting the 1st house itself and the 4th house, it is going to make your life a little non-traditional. This non-traditional approach of life is going to make you more connected with nature. It is going to make you more connected with the reality of everything. And couples who are having a Venus-Saturn conjunction or Moon-Saturn conjunction, like either of the partner, should be dealing things very practically, otherwise it can create divorces, separation, and sometimes it can create visa or immigration related issues causing temporary separation. People who has businesses related to transport and logistics will favor those people. And if you want to start manufacturing of something, not the end product, but say if you are the OEM or if you are the supplier of parts, it will be really, really good for you. But for Virgo, my recommendation will be that this is more about the feedback that you receive from your body, from your mind, from the people. This can turn out to be very positive if you have a good listening ear. But for anyone who is hyper arrogant and thinks that they are the best, Saturn can create a restriction that can choke you and can create very unhealthy, unfriendly atmosphere where you don't know how to cope up, how to work around. So don't aggravate negative Saturn in the chart. One remedy will be chanting the mantra Om Sham Shanashcharaya Namah. Libra. You are an ascendant, or even for Libra moon sign, where Saturn becomes exalted. Libra zodiac is ruled by Venus. It's a very balancing zodiac sign. And Saturn, which wants to give justice, wants this equilibrium. So it's exalted in Libra. But for Libra, Pisces is Prarabdha. Pisces falls in your 6th house. And when Saturn retrograde goes in Prarabdha house, 6th house, and Shani Dev being your 4th and 5th lord, it's very powerful position of Saturn. In the 6th house, Saturn changes the scene completely. It shifts the tide in a way where you will have to change your approach or you will fall flat on your face. If you don't listen to Saturn, it will give you disease and obstructions and hurdles, and you will be forced to find a new path. So one recommendation, straightforward, I will give you, that if you're doing something multiple times and still things are not happening, either take an astrological suggestion to understand what's going on in life, or simply change your approach without even consulting anyone, because Saturn wants you to actually focus on the core issues, reject the unnecessary, be minimalistic, reduce the losses, cut down on the loan, fulfill your prarabdha, and basically all past life karmas must be resolved now. Purva Bhadrapada is a nakshatra which is associated with duality of life emanating from the singularity. It is also where you go beyond the duality and you become one with the consciousness, shunyata. 6th house Shani Dev shows that your attempts are towards that. For those who are spiritually evolved, it will mean a spiritual transit, it will mean a spiritual evolution. For those who are materially bound and who are in normal day-to-day life, this might mean that you're working too hard to manifest your dreams. See, this Saturn can be very positive. It can destroy all the negativity. Or this Saturn can block you from every possible door and window. Why? Saturn is in the 6th. Its 3rd aspect falls on the 8th. And its 7th aspect falls on the 12th. And its 10th aspect falls on the 3rd. 6, 8 and 12 are the negative houses, Trik Bhav, representing enemy, death, transformation and losses. And 3rd house is your ability to react to such situation. Your ability to fight the negativity and fight all the odds. All is in control of Shani Dev. With Purva Bhadrapada, it will force you to change your ways, mend your ways, and maybe create new variables and work with new parameters and work with new, I will say, things in life. You should take great care of your health. You should take great care of your, especially you may lack vitamin D, it may cause depression. So in any case, first thing should be to consult to a doctor if you are facing any medical challenge. Libra ascendant and Libra moon sign native should be more inclined towards physical exercises, yoga and pranayama. See, this retro Saturn can make and bring your focus back to the problems of life so that you can get rid of from the problems. So anything that you want to avoid, you won't be able to avoid. Otherwise, it can create fear in your mind. It can block the root chakra and can create disturbances. So, go with the flow. Focus on the core issues of life. Sit with pen and paper and try to write down all the problems of life. Try to then put it on priority, what is more important right now, and start solving it. Maybe you won't be able to find an answer immediately, but Shani knows, it is watching you, that you are trying to solve the problem. Scorpio. Now for Scorpio, which is another water zodiac sign, and because you are ruled by the planet Mars, Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada is in your 5th house. Now what is 5th house? 5th house is your learning. 5th house is your energy. 5th house is education. 5th house is expression. 5th house is children. 5th house is productivity. And 5th house is your solar plexus region. With Saturn going in Purva Bhadrapada, this Saturn is going to churn the stomach. It is going to make you face your fear, the deepest, darkest fears. And when you face such fears, what happens in this case is that Shani Dev wants your attention and wants your energy to once for all get rid of traumas in your life. So this retrograde Purva Bhadrapada transit, which happens once every 30 years, is basically a trauma cleansing transit. Because Saturn is going back towards Aquarius zodiac sign, which is your 4th house, basically which is your heart, peace of mind. Saturn wants you to fulfill those duties and responsibilities that will bring peace of mind and a happy emotion in your heart by sacrificing some of the negative traits or the Pashvik pravritti of your life. You will also see that your attention to detail will increase during this time. You will also see that you will be more worried about your children during this time. Couples who are trying for child through IVF or similar techniques may suddenly change their plans, and a different ideology may come your way. A lot of people may have this desire, especially women, that they want to adopt. Very good idea. Because Saturn is in the 5th house and it is retrograding, it wants to bring the focus to the productive areas of life, and it wants you to fix problems, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business. This is a very good time for people who are writers, especially script writers, someone who is into filmmaking, someone who is making horror films, dark comedy, or political satire. Saturn with Purva Bhadrapada energies has an aspect on the 7th house. 7th house is marriage. 5th house is romance. Purva Bhadrapada means getting rid of something that is superficial. So any superficial relationship will face a tough and a hard time. Superficial marriages may even break during this time. Saturn will test your patience. Saturn will test the love that you have or the bond that you have. And that means this is going to bring some tough situations also. The good thing is that very soon Mars will enter your ascendant. You will gain the power to overcome the situation. So life is giving you opportunities after opportunities. Yes, there can be some difficult areas. Now with Saturn retrograding in Purva Bhadrapada, your knowledge will also be questioned. It is a very good time if you want to upgrade, upskill, do some certifications. And this Saturn aspecting this 11th house will make you rethink about how you are earning money. Maybe your position in your company is kind of becoming redundant. So immediately do some certification, change your stream, change your domain. You have to do some activity that makes you relevant, that keeps you relevant. You may also meet some long lost old friends. Childhood friendship might again recover, or you may just meet your childhood friends with whom you have lost contact. You may share some good heartfelt communication, some conversations. Saturn will also aspect your 2nd house. And what is 2nd house? 2nd house is primarily the area of stability, emotional and financial security. And therefore Saturn may also, or especially if you have a bad Rahu, it may provoke you for quick money. And if you do that, you are actually falling into the hands of negative planet. You should not focus on earning quick money. You should focus on right way of income. It does not matter how hard it takes you to actually, work on that. See, the recommendation for you will be to focus more on the reality and learn the reality, accept the raw truth, and keep moving forward, because a lot of things will also get exposed in this process, especially about your family, about your own health. And whatever happens, you need to follow the path of yoga and pranayama. One of the bigger remedies for you will be proper meditation, following the path of Ayurveda, and detoxifying by joining some wellness camp or programs. Try it out. Sagittarius, Dhanu Lagan. If you are a Sagittarius ascendant or even Sagittarius moon sign, the Saturn's Purva Bhadrapada energies affects your 4th house. 4th house is property, real estate, 4th house is your home. When Saturn is retrograding in this nakshatra, and it means that it is moving towards your 3rd house, the recommendation will be that be very careful when you are trying to invest in the real estate, when you're trying to invest in any property. This is the time when prefer not to purchase a property as long as at least Saturn is in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. But this is a very good time for people who wants to build ashram, temples, who want to participate in donation of houses to somebody who really needs it. Now, I'm not talking that you should not buy a house if you really need it. You have a house, you want to upgrade, don't do that. You don't have a house, you are stuck in your life and you have to purchase a small property for you and your family, then I'm not talking in that way. Saturn retrograding in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in the 4th house takes away the material happiness and gives you spiritual happiness. Although this does not mean that you will not have money or you will lack materially, but material happiness will matter nothing to you. This will make you live like a saint, like a hermit. This will make you live as if you are in Mahakumbh. Every day becomes Mahakumbh for you. Sagittarius ascendant natives find money being controlled by Shani Dev. And when the same money, the same second lord goes in the 4th house, sale of assets might happen to give you liquidity. It may release pending karma. And so if there is a stuck property or if there is an inheritance issue, it will get released. You will receive it. You will get it. A retrograde Saturn in the 4th house also means that the environment of your house can have some sort of spiritual touch, either by your choice or by forced. That means such becomes the environment that you're forced to take refuge in spiritual side. Same Saturn aspects the 10th house. It aspects the career house. So it transforms your career. It makes you spend more time working for your job, working for your business than what you spend in your own home. So people who are working from home may have longer working hours. And that is why you might have this desire to change your home, change your job, find a better place. All that is okay as long as you're planning and doing things in a proper manner. It is Pisces, it is Purva Bhadrapada we are talking about. It is the Shani which was in the Uttara Bhadrapada and now it is falling back to Purva Bhadrapada. All the philosophy has to be executed now. The energy is going from Shant to Ugra. If you are praying to Ugra Devi, Ugra Devata, the blessings of the Devi and the Devata will fall upon you. Now observe the position of this retrograde Saturn. This Saturn will aspect the 6th house. So you should do seva towards the elderly. This will encourage you to help someone who is suffering in life, especially someone who is suffering from a disease. Saturn's 10th aspect falls on your ascendant, on you. And therefore this Saturn wants you to create a different level of happiness and desire for yourself. It kind of transforms your comfort zone. Events in your home and family can also compel you to transform your mind, focus or shift your focus from one to the other. Career-wise, this can be a very good opportunity, but this will also transform you as a person, as a human being. You need to just let go of that emotion. You need to release the energy. You need to activate the Anahat Chakra. So performing something called as Pankaj Mudra, heartfulness meditation, mindfulness meditation, that will help you a lot. And with Jupiter, which is your ascendant lord, being in the 7th house, and then Jupiter touching the point of exaltation, and the moment Jupiter goes into the 8th house, it comes in trine with the same Shani Dev, and it starts aspecting Saturn. You are looking for a tremendous positive dharmic transformation. People who are in Vastu, spirituality, if you are doing Havan, Yagya, Pujan, you will see tremendous growth in your life. Writers, teachers, people in Ayurveda, people in holistic wellness will see great growth. In yoga, people will see great growth. If you are in any kind of research work, if you are into academics, if you are a teacher or a guru, guide, mentor, you will see great growth in your life. Just that you may have to live as the tongue lives between the teeth. There will be revolt, there will be people that are against you, and you just have to tolerate and live a positive life. One mantra definitely I will give you is to pray to Shiva and Shakti. Anahat Chakra is the samagam of Shiva and Shakti. It is the balance. And this balance has to be achieved by performing Rudra Abhishekam, praying to Bhagwan Shiva by chanting Om Namah Shivaya, and also parallelly bowing down your mind and your ego at the feet of Mata Bhagavati, Mata Mahadurga by chanting Om Durgaya Namah. Such emotions will celebrate the Sattvic Tattva of your life, the Sadhu Tattva of your life, and you will see whether you like it or not. You will be forced to live a kind of a saintly, detached life. Capricorn. Now Capricorns, you are Saturn's controlled zodiac sign. Saturn rules your ascendant, Saturn rules you. And the same Saturn is sitting in the house of courage, 3rd house from your ascendant, and for Capricorn moon sign, 3rd from your mind. That means it is going to test your courage. It is going to test your bahubal, parakram, your ability to do something. With retrograde Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada, I am seeing that you are doing things until you die. You know, that kind of approach, that kind of emotion where you are actually pushing yourself too hard. Where you are pushing yourself to a point that you may break, you are on that verge. And you will get results. But because it is the 3rd house, because it is the place where your arm strength lies, it is going to test your skills. Whether it is forced because you are supposed to, or whether it is by choice because you want to upgrade. Whatever happens, this retrograde Saturn is going to make you do things more than once. It is going to make you repeat, as if it's like a revision. Some past few things in the life that you have seen in the past may repeat again, like just copy paste, and it's like history repeating itself. Something positive will also happen, especially people who are involved in the field of yoga, wellness, puja, havan, yagya. You will see that you will work really hard, and 3rd house is also travel, so there can be unexpected travel. 2nd Lord, 2nd place away in Purva Bhadrapada. This will also alter the way you see finances. This will also alter the way you see family. This will also alter the way you see financial security. With Saturn being in the 3rd house, it changes the equation with your siblings also. Your siblings might not like the straightforward talk, so you may also have to change your approach of how you want to discuss. With Saturn in the third, it aspects the fifth house. Because this Shanidev aspects the Pancham Bhav, it wants you to be very productive. And maybe you're trying too hard for something, maybe you're trying too hard for perfection. But this is where you have to understand that the beauty lies in the imperfections and not perfection. With Shanidev in the third house aspecting the ninth house, and it being the first lord, shows that travel to a foreign country, traveling for work or business related things will happen more than normal and may keep you occupied, may even take you away from your family. And for the next few months, you are like doing it all. So it is going to take you to a point where you may have to say, no, enough is enough. I can't carry like this. So take care of your health and have a work-life balance, because that is what is necessary in the current time frame. The same Shanidev in the third house is also going to create for the elderly some problems related to arm, elbow, fingers. So ensure that you won't get injured, because if you're say in sports, this can really cause a serious injury on your hand. Saturn will aspect the 12th house, so this also shows that you want to work for your wellness. If you really want to give up on something, if you want to discard something, if you want to really act on something, this is the time. In fact, a retro Saturn will want you to take control on the situation, just that you should not try too hard, rather you should be a little comfortable in your actions. With Vakri Shani aspecting the 9th house, this is also the time when you will raise your voice and question the belief system. And maybe this will take you to experiment and explore a new horizon. Nothing wrong as long as you know which horizon you're looking for and whether that is the right horizon or not. So this may call for a guidance of a guru. Now you know that Jupiter will go in the sign of Cancer in the middle of October, and for the next 2 months, Jupiter will have a direct aspect on your ascendant. In fact, an exalted Jupiter will have an aspect on the ascendant as well as your ascendant lord. So naturally, this is going to be a good thing to listen to the advice of people, especially those who are your well-wishers. For a lot of people, marriage is on the card. Personality development will happen. Overall growth is seen through this Saturn transit. Settlement of property, dispute related to property, especially related to inheritance, that settlement will happen. So it's a very good time. It's a time of joy, financial security, but obviously through major reforms and some stringent rules that you have to follow. So the first half of this Saturn transit may not be very pleasant, but the outcome is really, really beautiful. Aquarius. In case of Aquarius, Saturn rules your first house, but Rahu is in the first house and Saturn goes in the second house. With Purva Bhadrapada energies and retrograde Purva Bhadrapada energies, this is going to create a dimensional shift in your finances, in your family equations. And with Rahu in the first house, this is going to make you a very different person. So if you are feeling that there is some financial change that is needed, if you are feeling that you need to change or talk to your family member, this Saturn retrograde in Purva Bhadrapada will make you do that. It will make you take certain decisions in life that are too bold for now. You have never thought that you will behave like this. You have never thought that you will be this kind of person. But a personality shift is imminent. A personality shift, a new dimensional shift is very much going to happen. Second house, retrograde Saturn. That means some of your wealth will be used to save you. Some of your savings will be used to protect you. Some of the savings will be used to solve family's problem. Some of your own money will be, or your own value system will be spent in order to solve some imminent danger in the family, and just that you will have to be thankful to God that you have enough surplus that it resolves an imminent danger. something that lies in front. So if you're sensing something like that, you need to focus on it and you need to resolve the matter as soon as possible. Neglecting responsibility is not the case here. Neglecting responsibility will not work in your favor. Chanting the mantra such as Om Sham Shanashwaraya Namah will be helpful. Real estate challenges, property related challenges may come up during this time because Saturn's third aspect falls on the 4th house. Saturn's 7th aspect falling in the 8th house and Saturn's 10th aspect falling in the 11th house also brings a shift to the way you earn money, the way you save money. So more and more of the money will be locked in investment rather than lying down in your bank account. Financially, this can be a transforming time, so chant Shri Sukta as much as possible. One quick recommendation I will give you is listen to the family member, talk to your family members, and some of the core issues may drain your energy, may drag you unnecessarily, whether you like it or not. But consider that this is your prarabdha and do what's best that you can do. Pisces. Pisces is a huge water zodiac sign. It's an ocean, a dark ocean. A dark ocean that has hidden gems. It's like you're going into the depth of the Mariana Trench to find Atlantis. It's a way of saying. Now when Saturn, the planet of karma, becomes retrograde, its chesta bal increases. It wants to do more activity on your ascendant and moon sign. It wants to bring the best out of you. So it will create a samudra manthan, a huge churning of the thought process, a huge churning of the emotional wave in your mind. This Shani Dev is going to make you rethink on many different levels. Shani Dev is going to make you focus on what is real and what is unreal. Shani Dev is going to make you a different version of yourself. It is basically going to kill you and give you a rebirth. That's the power of retrograde Saturn in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra. You will see a lot of the ideas that you believed in will die in this time, and a new idea, new philosophy will begin in you to appear in your life. The same Saturn on the first house is causing Sadesati for Pisces moon sign. And therefore, this is naturally going to bring some brain fog, some brain freeze, some old ideas and new ideas clashing with each other, some old point of view, an old philosophy and a new absolutely new philosophy clashing with each other, and you are caught in middle. Saturn with its third aspects the third house of Taurus. So it really wants you to, by your own action, change your life. But it is also going to make things a little difficult. It is going to drag you. It is going to make you remember. It is going to create nostalgia. It is going to make you remember the past. The same Saturn is aspecting the 7th house and creating a little bit of heaviness overall on your 7th house also. That means the circumstance will also be not very likewise the way you want it to be. Saturn's 10th aspect falls on the 10th house. This 10th house aspect is about karma. And when Shani Dev focuses on karma, it wants you to do the karma. See, 3rd, 7th and 10th all are karmic houses. So this triggers karma from your Kundali. So if you have a Pitra dosh or a karmic dosh, say you have Sun Saturn conjunction, you have Moon Saturn conjunction, or you have Saturn connected with your 6th Lord, this is going to trigger that. So a Shani Shanti Jap is very important for you. You should chant Shani mantra, Om Sham Shanashwaraya Namah, Om Sham Shanashwaraya Namah every single day. Also, this is the time where your ideology will change, your overall thought process will change. Best thing that you can do is learn from the past, but don't dwell in the past. This is the time of release. Let the past go away. It will change the way you look. It will change the way you appear. It will change the way you behave. It will change your body language, and this change is permanent. So a lot of people who are Pisces ascendant and especially Pisces moon sign, and for a change, if you have Pisces Venus, will find a new identity. There will be a huge identity shift in your case. And for Pisces, I have only one thing to say. Surrender to the divine, ride the wave of ocean, because an emotional tsunami will take away all the sorrow from your life.